home pool environment is often a place of fun and enjoyment. However, home pools is a location with a high risk of drowning, particularly for children under 5 years of age. Children aged under 5 continue to be the age group that accounts for the largest number of drowning deaths in swimming pools in Australia, with 14 drowning deaths in 2013-14, or 36% of all drowning deaths occurring in swimming pools. But the thing is, all drowning and injuries that occur in home pools are preventable. Simple steps save lives. If you are thinking of building a pool in your backyard at home, one of the things that you will have to consider is implementing or building a pool fence. There are many things associated with fencing compliance and pool safety compliance that need to be addressed when you are in the building phases. One of the important things is obviously your fence. There are specific height measurements and requirements that you need to build your fence to ensure that young children can't climb over the fence to get in. You also have to think about the gap underneath the fence and ensure that it meets compliance requirements as well. Another thing that you'll have to think about is when you're building gardens in and around your pool. The garden beds on the inside of the pool fence in the pool area aren't as big of an issue as the ones on the outside. So what pool compliance and safety requirements are in relation to garden beds, pot plants, tables, chairs, all those sorts of things, is really just a distance restriction. So you need to ensure that chairs and pots and everything are to the distance required under the Australian standards, to ensure that young children can't use pots and chairs, etc., as a means to aid climbing over the fence and getting into the pool area. Another thing that you need to consider is if there are any walls that open into the pool area from the house. So if you have your pool which with windows from your lounge room, etc., that open out onto the pool area, you need to ensure that there is no direct access through a door from the house to the pool area. And you also need to put special guards on your windows as well to stop children from climbing in and out and accessing the pool area Generally, any windows opening onto the pool area must not open more than 100 millimeters or must be security screened, and you can get special screens that can do that. Always supervise your children in and around the pool area. It's important to pay particular attention if you have a large number of children in the pool. Some parents might think, that they're watching their children and you're watching your children, but for everyone's peace of mind, it's good to pay attention to everyone that's in the pool at the one time. Effective pool safety depends on it. Parents need to be vigilant, and carers supervising young children around pools needs to happen at all times. Cannot stress to you enough, if there is nothing else that you can do, watching them, interacting with them, having fun with them, it's definitely the way to go. Many parents start swimming lessons out of concern for their children's water safety. Swimming lessons are never a substitute for supervision, but learning how to swim does reduce possibilities of drowning, and it gives your children the confidence to know that if they are in a sticky situation, that they can do something to help themselves, even if it's just taking swimming to get to the edge of the pool where they can lift themselves out of the water, or swimming over to the nearest step, or anything like that. If they have the confidence to be able to do that, then their survival chances are a lot better than if they had no idea and no idea what to expect, and they're just, trying to save themselves no matter what. You can get swimming lessons done by professionals. The local pool in your town is probably a good place to start. If you can't afford swimming lessons, there's no reason why you can't spend time with your child in the pool with them, helping them, building those trust levels, trying to get them, to trust you enough that they feel confident enough to be able to, put their heads underwater, or moving their arms, kicking their feet. These are all good strategies just to help them help themselves. There's some really great resources online which you can access freely, that can give you tips on how to train your children in the water, just as a safety mechanism to help them prevent drowning. CPR and first aid is absolutely vital. I personally think that any parent that has small children or children in general, or are around children a lot of the time, or even if they have pools in their backyard, being trained in CPR and first aid is vital. The techniques for performing CPR on babies, infants, toddlers, teenagers to adults is all different, and it's only something that you can get taught how to do. You can't sort of just make it up. And the first point of call, if you find a child in the pool floating upside down, not breathing, you're the first one there. You're the one who needs to be able to put CPR and first aid in place, because every minute counts. Every second is vital to saving lives, saving that child's life. A part of the compliance requirements for pool safety, you have to have CPR signs displayed so that if you have somebody who is not trained in CPR, they can easily follow those guides and be able to perform CPR one line at a time. Of course, before you perform CPR, call 000. Get those people on the road, get them to you as quick as you can. There's CPR technique that needs to be displayed on the sign. It gives you your Dr. ABC and D. Now they also cover D, and what they stand for is danger, response, send for help, check the airway, check if they are breathing, perform your compressions, and those the compression numbers have changed over the years, so it's good to keep up to date with that. And D is defibrillation, which unless you have a defibrillator, you're not going to be able to perform that, but get the ambulance there as quick as you can. So we've just covered the basics of home pool safety in this informative session. So just as a recap, we've discussed pool fencing compliance regulations. We've also talked about supervision and why that's important. We've also discussed maybe getting some swimming lessons for your young ones to help them feel confident enough that they can help themselves if need be. And we've also discussed CPR. So for more on pool safety compliance or any of the other things that we've discussed in this session, feel free to check out local government websites, local council websites, give them a call. There's an abundant amount of information to help you ensure that you are meeting all of your pool safety requirements to protect you, to protect your family and your friends as well. So I hope you've been able to take something away from this session today, and I hope that you have a lot of pool safety fun and a lot of good times with your family in the pool. Thanks.
You never ever go into the pool without parents and stuff. And you always got to be safe when you be in the pool. Make sure you're with parents and stuff. You've always got to be safe. That's rule number 1.